The IPO market has been buzzing. We've had two listings last week. We've had two listings today. Let's get to one of the management now. Sunil Reddy Dodla is MD of Dodla Dairy is now with us. Sir, firstly, congratulations on the listing. The funds are being used for co-borrowing and capex. What are the key value propositions of the company's product and after the IPO, what are the plans for growth ahead?
Going forward, our capex will be in enhancing our procurement as we go forward to match with our sales requirement. As soon as we finish repaying our debts and with whatever the money that we have raised from the public, we will be using for that immediately to start with. And also we are keeping our eyes open for any future possibilities of acquisition that may come across our way. So procurement will be the immediate enhancement we'll be doing with our in terms of our capex.
So how do you see the competitive pressure in the sector? What are your current market share? How do you expect to gain further?
It was always been, there was a large shift that was happening from earlier in time from the unorganized to the organized sector, because we also had this, what we call as a totally unorganized sector, what was called as a loose milk vendor. And there the shift was happening on two grounds. One, the consumer itself being aware of what was happening with the product. And second was the vendors themselves finding it difficult to do this business of picking up milk in the morning and coming and delivering. After the pandemic happened, the consumers' response has been much more rapid. People have moved more rapidly towards the packaged food products in view of safety, hygiene, and cleanliness. And we've seen the trend shifting more towards, including the value-added products like paneer. People are preferring to buy more packaged paneers than loose paneer. We've seen the shift from curd being purchased outside or made at home to be purchased curd. And we are seeing the shift becoming only more faster now than it was earlier. So going forward, we think that it will continue to be there. And the shift is not only happening in the metros, but it's also sliding down to the tier 2, tier 3 cities and even the smaller district headquarters. We're seeing this shift happening, which is a great strength for us as we go forward to continue our growth journey.
Hi, Mr. Dodla. This is Mubina as well joining in. The value-added products account for roughly around a quarter of the sales. Do you strive to sort of increase the contribution from value-added products? How do you see the mix changing going forward?
We will see that growing. At what pace will be a difficult call to make, but definitely it will do. As the Indian economy continues to grow, people's preference in food, also preferring to have good quality food, higher end food will happen. A simple example is, although we've lost our summer this time due to the pandemic, like a simple thing of ice cream becoming not a food of occasion, but also becoming a food of to be bought on impulse. I think the shifts will happen. Beverages will improve, dairy-based beverages with health consciousness, be it our fermented beverages. People will prefer to buy more of the fermented beverages. That is our opinion as we go forward. And as these happen, we will hit upon other categories which will also rapidly start to expand as we go forward. Timing, a little difficult to say, but definitely they will be expanding as we go forward. And that's, if I take our historically also, we've been expanding, and I think we will expand at the same growth rates as we go forward in the value-added growth volume.
All right. How has the demand been, by the way, for VAPs like ice cream, dairy drinks, post the slow unlocking after the second wave?
The comeback has been pretty swift, ma'am. If you look at it as, even in the month of April, as soon as the lockdown opened, within 15 days, we saw the demand moving up rapidly. So it all depends on how this lockdown imposing, or there will be other waves coming, not coming. If it is business back to usual, I think our growth numbers will come back very quickly to pre-COVID levels now.
So quick service restaurants, hotels, restaurants, cafe have been under pressure in the last year. Do you see a recovery once you have the open up trade coming in?
We were predominantly a B2C player. Our HoReCa presence was hardly very small, maybe 3 to 5%, which has reflected that even in the peak of lockdown, we were able to continue our sales going. And our volume drop would have probably came mostly from, as I said, the value-added impulse purchase buys like ice creams and other products, not from our milk. Milk maintained a pretty steady volume, although we had restrictions of going to certain areas, therefore we would have lost around another 1% or 2%. But HoReCa for us is a very, very small segment of our operation. We are entirely a B2C company. Therefore, HoReCa swinging back will not be the major change for us, but it will be only the consumer coming back and the consumer-based value-added products coming back that will be there for impacting us. HoReCa has no impact on us.
What are the plans to expand distribution business in India, sir?
So initially will be products we're trying to do. As we know, we have a large presence in 11 states. We'll be trying to penetrate more into those 11 states in pan-India basis. When it comes to our non-perishable products, which we are looking at the southern states, we will be filling in the gaps in the areas where we are existing. We have a lot of gaps to be filled in Tamil Nadu. We have a lot of gaps to be filled in coastal Karnataka. We have a lot of gaps to be filled in northern Andhra Pradesh, northern Telangana. So these are the areas where we already have built up capacity. Where we will be going forward to fill up these gaps with the perishable product range. And the non-perishables where we are existing, we will start penetrating more deeply to go and get our volumes to go up, ma'am.
All right. And finally, in terms of growth, what can we expect from the company in the next couple of years?
So I will not be able to give a number specifically because of 22. We don't know depending on COVID and COVID-based scenario. But I think we will continue to be on the track of what we were doing in our previous historical years in terms of our growth, in terms of what growth we were getting as the last 3-4 years. The same growth trajectory is what we will be able to maintain, and might do better if we get an acquisition that if it comes to and we find an acquisition at a right price, we might do a better than the previous growth rates.
Okay, Mr. Dodla, thank you very much for joining us today on ET Now. I'm sure this is going to be just the beginning of the many more conversations we are going to have, and congratulations on the successful listing of the company. For now, we'll take a very short break on the show. Be right back with more.